All right, some pretty big news today. President Trump announced his White House transition leaders. Linda McMahon, friend of ours, former small business administrator and cabinet member, and Wall Streeter Howard Lutnick. So, joining us now to talk about that and a few other things, my dear friend Brooke Rollins, president of the America First Policy Institute, and Chris Liddell, another dear friend, former White House Deputy Chief of Staff and author of Year Zero, the 5-year presidency. No, you're not trying to change the Constitution. You're talking about the transition. That's the 5, right? Year zero. So, first of all, what do you think about Lutnick and Linda McMahon? You better say something fabulous about Linda. And second of all, give us a hint here. Like, what do you have to look at? What's the transition team doing?
Yeah, so this is a really positive development.
No, I was going to Chris first, because he wrote the book. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a really positive development, Larry. So you need 2 attributes to be a successful chairperson for a transition. You need to be able to do the job, and these are 2 really seasoned executives. They've built businesses, they've run businesses. These are not political hacks. They actually know how to do something as complicated as a transition, so big check there. And the second attribute is you've got to be trusted by the candidate. And another big check, because these are long-time confidants of the president. And you've got to be close to the president, helping him make decisions around policy, around personnel. So really positive development. I'm excited to see them on the field.
All right. Brooke, I'm sure you agree. I mean, Linda's a very close friend of the president's, and Howard Lutnick apparently is too. I know Howard from Wall Street years ago. So what is your take on this? How far along? You know, you've got a lot of work there at AFPI, I presume, to help them. Linda's going to remain the chair of AFPI, which is promising. So are you going to be a resource for it, Brooke?
Well, first of all, let me say today is a great day for America, a great day for President Trump, and a great day for reclaiming this country out of the hands of the socialists, frankly, that are trying to destroy everything. Linda McMahon, I know, Larry, you and I and Chris all worked hand in glove with her in the last White House. She was often she would be characterized as President Trump's favorite cabinet secretary, not to start a war amongst family, but truly remarkable, built one of the most amazing businesses in American history, WWE, and for the last almost 4 years has been building the America First Policy Institute. She's remarkable, and there's no one better. But Howard Lutnick, I know many people, or a lot of people may not know his name as well as Linda, but let me tell you about Howard Lutnick. He was the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, which was hit on 9/11, and perhaps more than anyone else who was destroyed by 9/11, Howard Lutnick was the top of the list. Larry, he lost 650 employees that day, including his brother. And he has been a longtime friend of President Trump. And I think what he brings to this project is not only the trust of the president and the president's family, which is very important, but also this idea that you can build something great and huge in just a matter of days, weeks, and months. Yes. He brought Cantor Fitzgerald back from the dust within a matter of months. It was remarkable. And so you put those 2 together, it's magic.
He took care of the families who lost.
Yes, he did.
Who lost someone, father, brother, something. He took care of them while he rebuilt.
Yes, he did.
Cantor Fitzgerald. He used to come on my old CNBC show in those dark days, and I know him personally quite well, so I couldn't agree with you more about that. Chris Liddell, come back to the transition itself. So you have people and you have policy. You have personnel and you have policy. How do you look at the 2 of them, Chris?
Yeah, so just to give your viewers a sense of the scale of what's required. So the president appoints around 4,000 people, and you've got to have at least 1,000 of those on the field by day 1. So you have this 75-day sprint between election and inauguration to appoint all of those 1,000 people, from cabinet secretaries to senior White House staff to all the people that are necessary to run the government. So that's sort of task number 1. Task number 2 is on the policy side. 3 big areas there. You've got to get your legislative plans up and running in a quick start. You've got to sign a lot of executive orders on day 1. And most particularly, you've got to deal with crises. And with the world on fire like we've seen at the moment, the potential for dealing with a significant crisis on day one is pretty extreme. Those two things go together. People support you and allow you to do the legislative and executive orders. And obviously, if there is a crisis, we need a Secretary of Defense, we need a Secretary of State, we need a National Security Advisor. We need the teams on the field on day one to deal with it.
Yeah, especially
11:59, one administration's in charge, 12:01, the next one.
Yeah,
so it was an enormous amount.
Especially at a time like this, because to be honest with you, and Brooke, I'm going to give you the last word on this, we don't know who's in charge of this White House right now. We don't know who the commander-in-chief is right now. We don't know anything about it right now. I mean, we got Mr. Biden, who's on the way out. We have Kamala Harris. We have Kamala's teleprompter. I mean, I don't know who's running the country. Maybe the teleprompter's running the country. But the point is, Chris's point, if a crisis comes in the next 90 days or 110 days or whatever, that's going to be pretty tricky stuff. Last word, Brooke Rollins.
It is. Well, you think about Kamala Harris, who really can't even manage a grammatical transition without a teleprompter, to your point, who is in charge. And then you think about who President Trump is putting on the field to prepare for the exact moment that you're talking about. The difference could not be more stark. It is time for America to make a decision, for families to be protected, for America to be safe, for our border to be secure, for there to be peace through strength, for Americans to prosper again. And I think that today's announcement is a big step in that direction when supporting President Donald Trump.
We need good people. You're absolutely right. Chris Liddell, thank you. I hope the book is selling pretty good. Brookie, good to see you. Thanks so much.